Hey, thanks for stopping by. I finished all the major cards, defining them for you, and I promised I would give you some tips on how to study not just the majors, but the whole 78 cards of the tarot. And I'm excited to share these with you. I'm going to start with a few fun ones, and let's see what you think. I hope you'll leave comments. Let me know if any of these are working for you. I had fun with all of these when I was learning, and I hope you do too. So the first one is to look at cards and look at their definitions from three to four different sources. I mean, you can do it from books. These days, obviously, you can, just Google definitions. And no matter how you find these definitions, make a spreadsheet for yourself and write down all the words that feel right to you. And keep track of the sources, obviously, and keep track of your own words and thoughts as you organize what you think the cards mean. So basically what I'm saying is that you are going to be definitely overwhelmed, I think, by the number of definitions that are out there for one card. I mean, some of them will line up, they'll be the same, but some of them aren't. And once you've picked your deck, of course, you're going to look at the definitions that the cards came with, but that's not enough to really get into the depth of tarot. I really do suggest grabbing from 3 or 4 different sources. Like I said, make a grid, make a sheet, do it on Excel, do it on Word, do it in a journal, whatever you want. And as you go through the list of definitions, really pick out the words that resonate with you. Trust your intuition. Those are going to be the words that stick with you for each card. And a good way to do this is to go sequentially through the cards. In other words, go ace, pick an element, right? Pick a suit, an element suit, and go through ace through to king. Do it that way. And then also then pick out all the aces. Do it that way. Pick out all the twos. Do it that way. So those are 2 really good ways to study and get more in depth with each card. Do that with the majors too. All right. The second idea is to do readings for yourself and start a tarot journal. So basically pick 3 cards. I think when you're starting, don't do a full spread. You can do that later. You can learn about spreads later. But if you're a beginner, really pick 3 cards. Do that as often as you want. You can do it daily, you can do it weekly. And in your tarot journal, write down the cards that you picked and their definitions and what you gleaned from that reading. Now you can just ask for a message and then just, this card said this card said this card said this, as if it's a story, right? The other thing you can do is before you lay down the cards, you can say, okay, this first card's going to be the past. What do I need to know about my past? The second card, what do I need to know about the present? The third card, where am I headed? And I could go into, I could go into a lot about what 3 card spreads can do for you. I'm not going to do that here because there's so much information now out there on the web for you to figure it out. I mean, you can just find, people have so many ideas about those 3 cards, what you can ask, what you can get, if you choose to define them in a specific way before you ask a question, or if you're just getting a message, right? So that's the past, present, future is one way to do the 3 cards, and there are plenty of others. If you do want more examples, I can certainly give those to you. Leave comments and I'll do that for you. But I mean, there's so much out there right now in terms of those 3 card spreads, but I really suggest doing that for yourself first. Of course, read for yourself, right? That I should have said that at the top. Read for yourself. And those 3 card spreads are really good rather than just 1 card, because 3 cards give you that story. It starts helping you to connect the cards. So I say start with that. Don't even bother with 1 card. You'll learn the card that way, but it's good to start getting yourself primed for bigger spreads and more information, right? Another idea, and there's plenty of options to do this, is to color a tarot deck yourself. Now, there are blank decks that you can buy, black and white, that allow you to color in. Builders of the Adetum, that's BOTA is the acronym. You can find them online, and I'm pointing to my computer, and you can buy a deck that's black and white that you can color yourself. I also think that Daughters of the Moon also has that option, and there might be more now. Honestly, there are so many decks out there right now, I couldn't even begin to tell you which ones you can color yourself, but that's kind of a fun thing to do too. It works with your intuition, and you get to know a card pretty well that way. Those are three really fun things to do. So, and I'm just looking to see if I can add one more to this. I have so many. I'm gonna do this in a series because there's just too much here to do in one sitting. But here's a thing that you can do with the majors, and this is a major thing to do with the majors. I think if you followed my major definitions, I really just, hit the tip of the iceberg in terms of how deep these cards go. And so they're deep. And one way to deepen your understanding is to actually enter each card through a guided imagery. So what you can actually do is to look at a major card, and I would say start with the Fool. Absolutely do it in sequence, so it's easier that way, I think, because cards do build on each other, right? You know this already. So start with the Fool and look at it. Get really familiar just with the visual picture of whatever deck you've chosen. And then, close your eyes, enter the card, and look around and really get familiar with what's going on with that card. What are you noticing? Who's in the card with you? Is anybody saying anything to you? What does it feel like? Is there a taste you're getting? Is there a smell you're getting? Really, and this is great for your tarot journal, really get into that and figure out what kind of environment you're in. And do you feel good in that card? Do you feel bad in that card? Are you wanting to leave? I mean, what's your emotional state, right? And there's a lot that you could glean from this. I wish I could think off the top of my head some other questions, but I'm trusting you to do that for yourself. The most important thing I don't want to forget about entering the card is how to leave. So before you leave the card, make sure that you ask something in the card or some person in the card to give you a gift and or a message. Ask for it. Do you have something to tell me? Do you want me to understand something? Ask whatever question suits you in that moment before you leave. Take that gift with you, right? Make sure that you thank the giver, of course. And when you step out of the card, definitely get that tarot journal ready and write your impressions. That's a wonderful exercise. All right, I have more for you. I promise next week I'll add a few more. In the meantime, really, if you do any of these, let me know how they are working for you. All right, enjoy.